Hey, what's up, you guys? So I'm finally back with a new video, and we're going to do tier list today of the Scream killers. So spoiler warning, we are going to show all of the killers from all 6 movies, so if you haven't seen them for any reason, this is your warning. And so it's actually going to be me, Whit, and Taylor doing this. We're each going to individually do this, and then at the end, we're all going to come in and compare ours, see how they're different. You get it.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into my tier list. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go from killer to killer that I like, from least favorite to favorite. So we're going to go ahead and start here. We're going to start with Roman from Scream 3. Roman had some great, well, nothing really great about Roman. He had some great ambition to be the only solo killer in the entire series, but, all of this because of some mommy issues, it just wasn't really fitting the bill for a Scream killer. You want that psychotic. But, we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on ahead. And, the next killer we're going to put on the list is the second killer from Scream 2. I don't even remember his name because all he wanted to do is be famous in a court case. He was literally a Stu, but not Stu. Damian Lillard put on such a great performance as Stu. And, this second killer from the second movie, who's not even he's just there. He's like, no, I'll do all the heavy lifting, but I'm not going to, have any actual personality. He's as stale as a cardboard in the winter. We're going to move on to the dad and Scream 6. He's the father of the two other killers and the father of Richie. Now, the whole reason I'm putting him in D-list because he had such great potential being a police officer. He was the one kind of pulling the puppet strings. His son was a killer. He said, you know what? I don't like how that feels. I'm going to, turn it around. I'm going to make him look like the hero. And he tried his darndest, but, it's very hard to do when your son is a literal killer, and the only people who believe he isn't are 4chan trolls who sit there and do nothing but scroll through Discord mods and do other things. We're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to C, which is Billy Loomis's mom from Scream 2. She had a great story behind her. From the first movie we find out she left her husband after he was found with Sydney's mom, which started the whole Billy Loomis wanting to kill. After, we find out in Scream 3, Roman put in his head, why not make your own horror movie? But she's out for revenge. She wants Sydney dead. She wants to get some revenge for her son because Sydney killed her son, and what a mother's love won't do. We got Richie, who's also going to be in a C tier. Actually, you know what? We're going to make an audible here. We're going to move Richie down to D tier with his father because both of them had shit reasons to do what they did. There was no great reason to be a killer in this series except for making an actual good movie. You've ever gone to a movie theater and you said, oh, you ever seen Cars 2 and you just go, ew, and that movie is so disgusting, I want to kill some people so they make a better movie out of it. You know what? Me neither. And let's hope they don't do that again because, good lord, they about ruined it. Great movie. Scream 5, one of my top faves. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put his female counterpart in the same tier because, again, her reason was just they made the movies bad. After 3, they got horrible. I need to kill everyone and kill people to get my name out there, and we need to make a new movie that's good. If I saw Cars 2, I might do the same thing. I'm just kidding, of course. But these people took it too seriously. They went ahead and they started massacring innocent people just because their movie series went bad. And you know what? C tier, we'll go ahead and we'll put the female killer in the new one, Scream 6. It really threw me off because, I thought she died. But here she is returning at the end, coming out as a killer. And, I would say that she has one of the slickest kills, or not kills, but deaths in the movie when she is killed by Sam, the main character. And her brother Ethan here, put him in the same tier. We'll go ahead and talk about him as well. Ethan and her had some of the coolest moments as a ghost face. And my personal favorite moment was when they sliced and then wiped off the blades together. That was one of the most bone-chilling and cool scenes. But it also made you go, oh, is this the actual Scream movie where the killers get it? But then we find out that Richie was their brother, and and Ethan's just trying to make Daddy happy because he's got daddy issues. And, I don't even know what the other killer's motive was, just because, all I know is, oh, Richie died, Daddy's sad, gotta fix it. But here we go. We're moving on to B tier, and we're starting to get into the good, the cream of the crop, the best of the best. B tier. We got, I think his name's Charlie. We got a social geek from high school in Scream 4 who's trying to be popular and running a movie club who just wants to get laid. He's really wanting Kirby and he's trying his darndest. And, by the end of it, you were really hoping, you're like, I hope this man ends a happy life. And then he comes out and stabs Kirby. The surprise I had when he stabbed Kirby was pretty intense. It was one of the greatest reveals, and I think Scream 4 has one of, if not the greatest reveals in all of Scream history. Sidney's cousin from Scream 4. You wouldn't expect relative of Sidney, a girl who's gone through hell and back every year of her life since she turned 16 or so in high school, to be one of the people who are ruining lives and killing and taking lives. But here she is, tired of living in Sidney's shadow and wanting to get and do something on her own. And you know what? I don't agree with her, but she did a great job, and the producers and the writers did a great job of exploring her character and coming out and making it to where when she was shown to be the Ghostface was wonderful. And also the whole hospital scene at the very end when Sidney and Gale were fighting her, and then all of a sudden she's Gail's finding out, how'd she know I had that scar? Just a great scene altogether, and if you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend it. But moving on, we got Stu Macher. We love Matthew Lillard, my apologies. And we very much enjoy Stu Macher because he is not only just in Billy's shadow, he's the comedic relief of the two. Sure, Billy has some of the greatest horror moments, but Stu is the reason that we can have some laughter in the middle of it. Like when he's stabbed and he goes, "I'm losing a lot of blood, man." And some of the other moments that are just kind of a lighthearted trying to... Wes Craven tried to dive the plane straight into the canyon, but Stu's just one little propeller that's pushing it on up, trying to get a little bit of a comedic relief out of a situation that seems so dark and dire that it's from the guts of hell itself. That leaves our last killer. I'm going to go ahead and arrange these real quick. I would darn say that Billy Loomis, the original Scream killer with Stu Macher, is the greatest Ghostface. And the reason I would say that is because, he's an actual psychopath. Everything he does not have a reason, and if it does, it is a dire, dark reason. And with this being said, he was seen as a red herring the whole time. You didn't really expect him. What were the odds he was there with the Ghostface? There's some other reasons you would not expect him to. But Billy Loomis is one of the most sick and demented killers that I think we've seen in a Scream movie. And if not, ever in a very long time. This has been my tier list. I hope you all agree. If you don't, go ahead and comment.
Hello, I will now be taking my turn to rate the Scream killers. Billy Loomis. Now this is an S tier for sure. The original, the best. We all go a little mad sometimes. One of the best scenes. He has very good kills. Him and Stu together at the final act. Just going back and forth rambling. It's just an excellent scene. It's definitely my favorite of the final acts, for sure. Stu, I will also be putting an S just because he's a very good killer, and he also has he's very funny throughout all of it. Like that whole setup of whenever Billy threw the phone at the back of his head, that was great. That actually wasn't scripted at all. They just put that in. Whenever Sidney calls him at the end, whenever he goes, "Mom and Dad are gonna be so mad at me." It's a very, very, it's so funny. Mickey, I believe is his name. Mickey, I didn't care for too much. It's either gonna be a C or a D for me. The motive was okay. I didn't mind it. Yeah, I'll put him in C. Mrs. Loomis, I'll put her in D, just because I didn't care for her at all. Scream 2 is a good one, but they didn't really stand out too much for me. Roman I liked a lot. Him and Sidney going back and forth to the final act were very solid. He had some good kills. I'll put him in B tier. Roman was a good killer. The Scream 3 movie was not good at all. I didn't care for it at all, along with 4. Charlie was solid. He had some good kills. Again, the movie wasn't great, but he was okay. I'll put him in B. Jill I didn't care for too much. I did like the final act scene. It was good. I'll put her in C. Richie I liked a lot. I will put him in S tier. It's actually very cool. Ethan actually told me about this, but you could tell between the two killers. Richie was more of the stabbing guy. He would stab a lot. And Amber, what was she? Is she just more of a sneaky one? They were both very good. I don't think Amber was as good as Richie. So she'll go in A. but she did a very good job. Scream 5 is probably a top 3 for me. I like the first one the best. Then I like 6, and then I like 5, just because I like the original the best. Like the killers and everything, the storyline. Then we have Detective Bailey. Killing wise, he was okay. I didn't expect him to be a killer at all. It threw me for a loop whenever you found out that he's one. I'll put him in D tier. Again, of course, I never suspected it was him, but killing wise, he was okay. Quinn, I liked. I didn't like how they killed her off and then trying to surprise you with it. I'll put her in B. She was good. Ethan was very good. I'll probably put him in A. He was my favorite of the 3. That was another thing that threw me for a loop, was 3 killers. I did not expect that at all. I just expected 2. So whenever Detective Bailey walks in and you find out that he's also one of the killers. And yes, that is my Scream Killers tier list.
Oh my.
He's going to get her. That's some very unfortunate events.
So we'll start with Ethan. I don't know. I like him, but all we really have for him is post-reveal. Pre-reveal, he's whatever. Post-reveal, he's fine. I'll give him a C. He's fine. I'd say he's the most like okay. Quinn, I think, is a step above. I'm gonna put him in D because I think Quinn is good okay. He's just really okay. F is only where anyone I think is a bad Ghostface will go. Bailey. At first, I thought his character was very over the top, and I thought just almost way too much, especially compared to like Mrs. Loomis in the second one, as a parent getting revenge. He was just very cartoony to me, but I grew to like it the more I've seen the film. I think I'll put him there. Yeah. The thing with Ethan is he just like, there's stuff they could have done with it. He has like this whole thing about how like there's a moment where the dad talks about how there's a special bond between a father and his first son, and I feel like it kind of hinted that there's some sort of, he's trying to like please his dad by going along with this, because pre-reveal he definitely doesn't seem like someone who's involved with this kind of thing. Post-reveal he seems very incel, kind of like Charlie, especially towards Tara, but I don't know, he didn't seem he didn't seem to have the same drive for revenge for his brother like Quinn and Bailey did to me. So the cause for Scream 6, Richie. I like Richie a lot. I might move him up to A, depending how this looks at the end, but I like Richie a lot. I think Jack Quaid's great. I love him in The Boys. Pre-reveal, he's very good as the love interest. He's kind of different from Billy, where he's just like super supportive. I never suspected him, which is always a good thing for the killer to be. Post-reveal too, I think I liked his reveal when he stabs her in the side. I thought his performance post-reveal was very good. It was believable. It wasn't too over the top. I like the motive in Scream 5. I thought it was interesting. So with Amber, I think I like Richie better. I think Amber's a little too over the top for me. Yeah, that feels better. Because Amber, I think she's very over the top, which at a few times for me was a bit much. But other times I think it works. So I think she took a bigger swing, and it paid off a lot of the time, but it just wasn't as, I don't know, it didn't feel as believable and rooted as Jack Quaid's was for me. And so I just like him better. And especially going into how they were killed. So with Amber, I think also when she says welcome to Act 3 and the camera does the Dutch tilt, that moment just didn't hit me very well. I was kind of weird by it. Whereas Richie's was much more just natural feeling whenever he's revealed. So the last one with Wes Craven, we have Scream 4. So I'm going to do Charlie first. Charlie, I think Charlie's bad. I just don't. His whole motive is incel. He just wants, Jill gives him attention, and that's what gets him on board. He's not that interesting before, like pre-reveal. He's just there. He's the movie fan. He's the idea man to film them and stuff, is my understanding. And then post reveal, he's just Weasley. I don't know. Which, I mean, good on Rory Culkin, I think is his name. Good on him, because he did a good performance. The character I just don't think is that great. I think it's the weakest Ghostface for sure. In comparison to Jill, I think Jill's S tier. She is one of my favorites. Her reveal is definitely, for me, the most shocking. I was very surprised when I saw her pull off the mask. I think she did really well at manipulating Charlie, which elevates her, because that's the thing, is Charlie's brought down because his whole purpose was kind of like Mickey, where they were manipulated into taking part, which elevates her kind of like it does Mrs. Loomis, but it brings him down a notch. So Scream 3, Roman. This is tough for me because I have a very wide range of thoughts on Roman. Pre-reveal, I think he's annoying. I don't care for him. I don't like that he doesn't have any scenes with Sydney. It makes it feel super unearned because his reveal when it happens, I remember when I saw him, I was like, oh, okay. Kind of like Amber, I think, where they were both just like there was just I didn't feel any surprise or shock or betrayal because like with other characters, with Richie, he really knew Sam. She thought they were in love. And so it just didn't have the same weight or gravitas. But post-reveal, I love Roman. I think the fight with him and Sydney is one of the most intense in the franchise. Being the end of the trilogy at the time, you couldn't tell whether or not Sydney would survive. And also, the one-on-one just felt more like even because when you have like Billy and Stu against her, it's like she's literally has nowhere to go, no way to defend herself. And so it was cool seeing this just one-on-one fight. And I also really liked his performance too, post-reveal, where he's about how, he lost his mother. If pre-reveal was on the same level as post-reveal with Roman, he would be S tier for me. And because of all the meddling and because of the censorship, he's down to B. Because I think he is D, if not F, pre-reveal. But post-reveal, I think he's S. But with the stuff with like very little blood and stuff because of studio censorship and everything because of current events at the time with Columbine, I think that also brings him down just because of a lot of the fear and stuff that you get from Ghostface wasn't there. Okay, Scream 2. So Mickey I think is A tier. He's so fucking like, he's demented. He's so evil. He's constantly like whispering in Sydney's ear, about how like you can't trust people. How it could be your closest friends, he's like trying to be all close. We're all here for you, Sid. And meantime, he's killing everybody. And so I think because that's the thing that Roman didn't have is screen time with Sydney. And that's what makes the killer reveal so much more shocking. And his performance post reveal is just so fucking good. It's almost Stu level of just demented and just, he has fun with it. And you can tell. Mrs. Loomis, I'm giving S tier. She's equally shocking, I think, to Jill. You don't see her coming. She's hidden in the background the whole time. The whole revenge thing for Billy. I love Laurie Metcalf already from like Roseanne and other projects. And so seeing her in this was great. Getting to see her as the killer of all things. Her and Sydney, her against Sydney at the end is really good. And if anyone had to kill Randy, I think she was the character to do it. But no, yeah, I just remember being shocked by Sarkis. I was like, who the fuck are you? And then when they reveal that it's the mom of Billy, that's... when Timothy Oliphant, when he goes, when he says the line, Billy's mother. It's just so good. I love that part. Okay, so Scream 1 is very easy. Stu's just, Stu, I love Stu. He is the most fun Ghostface. Mickey is almost on the same level as him and just how much fun they have with it and all the craziness. I love Matthew Lillard because of that. He's very similar in how he is in the Scooby-Doo movies where he's just so over the top, having fun with the character. And there's so many great improv moments like these.
You gotta find me first, you pansy-ass mama's boy.
Fucking hit me with the phone, dick!
And also his chemistry with Skeet Ulrich as Billy works really well. Kind of, again, on a better level than Mrs. Loomis and Mickey, where... it's just like you have this guy who's very, angry inside, hates everyone, and really is all about this with his friend who's just like peer pressure, Yeah, so moving on to Billy. I mean, he's the original. I mean, Billy's great because he plays it so well of being, this like jaded, cynical asshole, and it seems so obvious in the movie where you're like, clearly he's the red herring. And so having the guts to make your biggest red herring your killer by pretty much hiding him in plain sight is a really good move. And yeah, it's just one of those things where his performance as well just elevates it so well, in my opinion. So I think that's how I'm going to rank these. Yeah, I wonder how they did theirs or how like different this is going to be. So let's see how they did theirs, and I'll see you guys in a sec whenever we're all done.
Well, you see, I had to start in the F tier.
I'm angry.
What in the hell?
Hold on. We got Roman.
Sure we do.
I hate Scream 3.
You do?
I hate it to the guts. Roman was just he had mommy issues, and he said, you know what?
I mean, Roman was awful.
Yeah, Roman had mommy issues. Yeah.
Well, Billy made up.
Mother's the reason my mom abandoned me.
So Mickey, the second killer in the F tier, Bro just wanted attention. He was an attention whore.
Yeah,
I mean,
he
that's
just
fair,
wanted
yeah.
attention. He
now,
just wanted
hold on.
fame,
He did
right?
it worse. Richie and the other girl from Scream 5. I don't
Amber.
know. Amber. All they wanted to do was remake a movie series. I said, what if you watch Cars 2 and you said, you know what, this movie's really sucked. I'm going to create a car that's alive and redo it.
It's not just.
I would watch that movie.
It's not just.
I would
basing
make
it
that
off
movie.
that
I would be
also.
the Richie of Cars 2.
And then we got Miss Loomis, who, she wants to
Avenge her
avenge
son.
her son. A mother's love. What won't it do?
The fact that you put her in C tier.
Was that a
pisses me
disparaging
off.
remark about my Billy boy?
Was that a negative, disparaging remark about my son? About my Billy?
Why is Bailey lower than his kids?
He was a police. There was such a big chance for him to just do something, extravagant. We hadn't had a police officer who was a Ghostface before in the series. They
Well,
had
Dewey.
a whole opportunity. He wasn't Ghostface though.
Dewey was Ghostface.
No, okay, well, that's a conspiracy theory. But anyways, there was a chance for Bailey to do so much, and then
So you think that with his resources he
he
should
could
have done more?
such
than his
a better
kids?
job. Such a
Bad
better
parent.
job. Bad parent. Sydney's cousin.
Jill.
Awful.
Jill.
Awful take.
No, Jill is one of the most surprising Ghostface reveals in the entire series. You literally do not expect a relative of the protagonist of the series to be the killer. Now let's
All right,
see
Mesner.
All right. So what we have here, we have Detective Bailey and D tier. Oh, I guess we did agree on one. What do you know? Yeah, I just didn't care for him very much. Mrs. Loomis, I did not care for her one fucking bit. That's why I put her below Detective Bailey.
But why do you think she's D tier? You didn't
Uh,
care. You just didn't care for her.
Like the final act scene just was. I didn't care for that. Like her explanation and stuff. It just wasn't. It just wasn't my cup of tea.
Okay.
Jill, the only part I liked her in was when she was explaining what she was doing and why.
Yeah.
And then also her killing Charlie. That was great.
So you liked her post reveal,
Yes.
but why? But why is she C though? Like what brought her down? Because you loved her post reveal. So what was it about her before she took the mask off that you hated?
I just didn't care for the kills in that movie. Can you do me a favor, young chap, and swap Richie and Amber? Thank you. Now the reason I did that was because I got the fact wrong, and apparently, he was not the one that was stabby. That was Amber. But I liked him as a character. He was very good.
But
Um,
why is either Amber or Richie and Ethan an A and S tier?
Ethan is very. I love Ethan.
What did he do?
He's hot.
Um,
What about so? What makes Ethan the best killer in Scream 6?
compared to Bailey and Quinn,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he did a better job than both of them. It did throw me off whenever they were in the train. I really didn't think it was him for a second because there was
Oh.
a Scream killer and then what's her nuts got killed. Not killed, got stabbed, and like he helped her and
Mindy.
everything. Yeah, Mindy. Right.
Quinn
The
stabbed
franchise
Mindy.
lady. Yeah. I mean he had good kills. Like compared to the other two, he did good. And then Amber, I just love her because she's very stabby.
So you think that her and Richie are both good characters, but you like that she's more violent?
Right.
Okay. F tier.
What in the fuck?
F tier. We have Charlie. Charlie, my boy, is a fucking loser. He's nothing but an incel. The only reason he's a part of the kills is just because he wants sex and attention. So that's why he's an F tier. I just don't care for him. Yeah.
That's fair.
D tier Ethan. Of the Scream 6 killers, I think he's the weakest because he has the least motive. Quinn and Bailey both are super emotional about Richie's death. They want to get revenge. Ethan never seems that like he cares that much about it.
Mm-hmm.
His focus is just on Tara didn't sleep with me, and it seems to have some issues with his dad
gotta
about
make up to
his
his
dad
dad.
having favoritism towards Richie is implied. Quinn and Bailey, I think they're fine. They're not great. They're fine. So Roman, I said if all I was going on was post reveal, Roman would be S tier. I love Roman post reveal.
Mm-hmm.
He has some of the best moments with Sydney. Pre reveal though, I just don't care for him. He doesn't share screen time with Sydney, which is a super big waste. Mickey, he's very similar to Stu. He's psychotic. He's having fun. Timothy Oliphant, who plays Mickey, is so goofy in the role. Like, he's just making fun. Like, when Mrs. Loomis walks out, and he fucking, like, messes with Sydney so much. And then my S tier, I actually didn't put them in order. Mrs. Loomis, I fucking love her. She's hidden in the background throughout the entire film, following Gale and shit, pretending to be a reporter, causing issues. She's literally hidden in plain sight. You never suspect her. Then it's revealed that she's Billy's mom, which is a super good motive. Revenge is like the go-to easiest motive. I love Laurie Metcalf. I think her performance is great. Her talking to Sydney about her son. They have a lot of good back and forth there. Jill, I love her. She's the most shocking Ghostface reveal I've ever had. Pre-reveal, you know, I love Emma Roberts in the role. She's great. Her performance is really good. I believe that she was on Sydney's side. It didn't make sense for it to be her because she seemed to be this... Because they were making fun of remakes, and so you expect, oh, she's going to be, you know, she's not going to be the killer because she's the new Sydney for this remake. And so it was a really good twist on that, I thought. And then and then also she has the self-mutilation scene where she's doing the injuring herself to look like a victim. That scene's S tier with the knife when she rips her hair and you hear like Velcro.
Jumps through a coffee table.
I don't remember these at all.
And the hospital scene is great too. It's like a fucking fourth act.
Oh, jeez Louise.
Clear, bitch.
I keep forgetting. Like, I don't remember that movie at all. That's why I gave her C.
And then Billy and Stu, you just can't. They're the originals.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They're the best. So, a lot of disagreements, a lot of spots we don't agree on, spots we do agree on. Overall, real quick, what are your guys' Scream movie rankings? So, from worst to best, Taylor.
I give it. The first movie is the best one.
I said worst to best, you son of a bitch.
The worst one is 3, and then 4. They're about equal. I equally did not like them. Then 2, 5, and then 6, and then 1. No.
165, 243.
Yeah.
That's his ranking.
Yep.
Witten,
Worst to best?
Leanin.
So we got 3, 2, 4, 5, 1, 6.
You think 6 is the best?
I loved 6. I loved the surrealism of
I
being
never
in the big city.
I never understand why you have such a hate boner for Scream 2.
It's good.
Did you put 2 below 4?
Yes.
It has some of the best suspense in the whole franchise. And it has a better opening. You hate the opening of Scream 2. It is such a good opening, the movie theater. So my ranking goes 3, 4, 5, 2, 6, 1. So if you enjoyed that and want to see more tier lists from us, please leave a like. Comment what you think of our opinions, which one of us you agree with more, how you would rank them. What's your favorite Scream movie or favorite scary movie? Make sure to subscribe if you're not. That way you know when I post videos because they're never, ever regular.
Hey!
What?
We have something new!
Taylor says we have something
The amount
new.
of segues I have tried to
I
do.
know.
And
I've been ignoring it.
Wetcast!
Fine, I'll let Whit say something on the channel for once.
So, we have launched a new podcast. It's called Wetcast. It's us 3 talking about random shit.
By the way, the other thing I think about Roman as a killer.
If you like hearing random bullshit like this from us 3 just talking and just going on about what we enjoy or what we're just going to talk about, go on over to the Wetcast Twitter, W-E-T, cast.
I made the Twitter. He doesn't even know what the Twitter is. I don't think it's Wetcast.
Well,
It'll all be in the description.
Yeah, it'll all be in the description. We're going to start uploading podcasts regularly, or we'll try to do something where we just...
Weekly.
Also, if you have ideas for us to talk about on podcast, comment down below.
Anyways, we'll link all the socials, channel, all that fun stuff in the comments. That way you guys keep up to date. Our first episode is actually already out, so make sure you guys go give that a listen. It's right here, right in your face.
Huge. What?
It's covering your face. It's covering your face.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm pretty now.
Shit on.
All right. See you guys in the next video.